In this video, we're going to review scheduling a batch campaign using HubSpot and 7th Sense. This is ideal for sending one-off emails such as newsletters, product promotions, webinar invites, or any campaign that you would normally send as a single email or campaign. In HubSpot, once you've created an email, you have three options: send it now, send it at a scheduled date and time, or send it at a specific time across time zones. Using 7 Sense, we're going to schedule the email once, but it will be delivered to each individual at his or her most optimal time of engagement based on the 7 Sense profile which we reviewed in a subsequent video. You do have to change the process in which you send your email. However, you've likely spent hours thinking about and building the content and strategy behind your email, so an extra 5-minute time investment to try and ensure you get the most eyeballs on it should be well worth the effort. Not only that, but there will be no more arguments among your team on when should we send this. So this should save you that 20-minute debate. In short, you'll gain 15 minutes of your busy day back. The first step in this process is to create your email. But one thing is different. You'll want to create the email as an automated email instead of a regular email. So we're just going to review and save this, save for automation. I'm going to go ahead and copy this just to save me some typing. Now, one thing to note here is HubSpot is still handling the delivery of your email, analytics, and reporting of the email. You're just changing the way it is scheduled, and the 7 Sense system uses the workflow engine to do so. So let's go ahead and go over to the workflows. Now we're going to create a very simple workflow. I'm going to name my workflow, and we're going to use the defaults, which is contact based. We're going to click next. We're going to set the starting criteria. And we're going to set this as manually. Now don't worry, you're not going to have to manually enroll each contact, as the 7 Sense system will do this. Next, we're going to say add an action, and we're going to say send an email, and we're going to select the email that we just created. I click save. Now we're going to turn the workflow on. So we'll review it, turn it on, and we're now done in HubSpot. Now, if you have things like suppression lists that are not part of the smart list that you created, you can always add them here under the settings tab, unenrollment and suppression, and then select the list that you want to suppress from the actual email campaign. Now, if you're concerned that you'll have a lot of workflows due to being a high volume sender, you can simply delete the workflow after the sending is complete. The only reason the workflow is needed is it's the delivery mechanism. You'll still report on the success of your email the normal way you would underneath the email tab in HubSpot. Now, let's go over to 7 Sense, and we'll schedule the email for delivery. I'm first going to click on Marketing, Lists, and these would be all of your lists from HubSpot. You do not need to export or import your lists into 7 Sense, as the system will automatically sync them. If you have just created a list in HubSpot but don't see it here, you can simply click the Sync List Names buttons, which is right here. I'm next going to filter for the list that I want to send to. So we will look for explainer, And we've got this explainer video list. You'll see here this personalized button. I'm going to click that. And now we're on the scheduler screen. There are a few options that you'll need to select in order to schedule your email. The first of these is the delivery window, which defines the time that the email can go out in. The delivery window can be as short as an hour, all the way to 7 days, and anything in between. Although if you're going to send it out over an hour, you'd be better served just using the traditional send methodology with HubSpot. We do recommend trying to give the system at least 24 hours, but there will be times that you'll need a shorter window, such as the day before a webinar, and you want to send a last-minute invite. You might want to send it over 12 hours, for example. Now let's go ahead and select the timeline that I want this email to go out in. So we'll have it start tomorrow, Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. And we'll have it go till the following Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. So exactly 7 days later. Now, the system has already automatically found the explainer video workflow, which is what we just created. And we can give it an optional name. So this is just so that we can easily track this. We'll call this explainer video. Once we've selected the delivery window that we want the email to go out in, we then select which activity classes we want to include in the mailing. By default, all activity classes are included in the mailing. You can also change the activity classes you want to include or exclude in real time during any time before or while the email is sending. We'll cover some use cases of doing so in another video. In this example, we'll just select everybody. Next, we're going to click Submit, which will first sync the contacts of the list to ensure it is up to date, and once that completes, it will schedule each person to receive their email at their most optimal time within the delivery window. So we'll give this a minute to complete here. And again, what's happening is it's syncing the list, and we can also monitor that right here. And then it's scheduling 2,000 people, or approximately 2,000 people. And that's how simple it is to set up a batch email campaign using 7 Cents and HubSpot. In a subsequent video, we'll show you how to read the charts that are associated with this delivery job.